Whoops, unmuted. Hello, everyone. It's Kate Richburg. It's the third Thursday, and this is the third Thursday earring kit. I'm going to have a chance to have everybody jump on and say howdy. Look, everyone's here. I love it. I love it that you're all ready to go. I'm going to sit down before I get started on this earring. Oh, you're very kind, Lynn. I feel kind of like a hot mess, but I do have these fantastic earrings on that we're going to make today. Janice and I have been making or creating the kit. I've been choosing the colors for the Great Bead Extravaganza kit, and it's going to be so gorgeous. I think you're going to love it. But it's like taking us all morning because it has so many components and stuff. It's going to be 2 colorways. It's going to be really, really cool. But the Great Bead Extravaganza, my friends, is coming up soon. That so didn't help a thing. The Great Bead Extravaganza, I'll tell you, is coming up. Let me actually just clean these glasses while I tell you. It's in July. It's the Midsummer Market. I think we've already put the schedule up. It's the Friday the 19th is preview night. And then, of course, Saturday and Sunday. Some of the Great Bead Extravaganza participants have already put their kits up and stuff. They're amazing. Ours, of course, will drop on that Friday on the 19th. They're going to be necklaces this time, and I'm going to teach you a whole bunch of really cool stuff with it. The beads are luscious, so I hope you're going to like them a lot. So anyway, that's what I've been doing this morning. It's great to be back live with all of you all. Pam's asking, how's my jet lag? It's okay. I'm doing all right. It's been kind of crazy, and I'm catching up with your orders. I know some of you ordered the mystery bead kits, and I want to make sure those are as juicy as possible. So I'm working on those. That's going to be, those will be going out soon. So I really appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. Just because, I just want to make sure I get all those orders right and everything. So appreciate it all the way around. I know that some of you have been following my saga about my new studio, but, we've got some new, something good's going to happen, I think. I'll be really honest with you. Last night I was super frustrated, just kind of down. You know what I mean? I'm going to blot and put on some red lipstick because that always solves everything. But today's a new day, new ideas coming down the pike always. So, you just have to do your best, right? And stay focused and move forward. So that's what I'm doing moving forward. I promise you, put on the other half of this. I promise you, I will have a great studio space here, and we will have those metalsmithing classes. We're going to have a lot of fun stuff. So don't worry. Throw it over your shoulder and move forward, right? So more on that to come, as usual. But, and why did it have to be like in the start of summer? It's going to be like 110 this weekend here in Fresno. I know I'm not the only one going through a heat wave, but warm. I'll tell you what. So yeah, we're going to keep beating on for sure. So in the spirit of keeping beating on, let's go ahead and take a look at this earring kit I've made for you. I hope you like it. We're doing something different with these. That's what I love about these earrings. And I'll take these off, put them down in front of the camera, and let me add this there, and let's take a look at this. I also have more stories for you folks about my European travels. I bought some stuff to go on Bead Shop Studio that you're going to love. So all of that's coming. I'm just, just playing catch up, isn't it So true. You know, you think, oh, if I can just get through this part, then everything's going to go back to normal. I think that chaos and hilarity are the new normal, right? Isn't it though? Isn't it? Like I think I've told you, like when I call Drea in the morning and I say, good morning. And Drea says, is it though? Is it really? Anyway, here's the earring. We still have some left. I made quite a few of these because I thought you folks would love them. This is called the Ammonite earring. We have two colorways. The one that I already have, pardon me, the one that I already have made here is called the Terracotta. This one that I have here that I'm going to make with you, this is called Celadon. These are a similar bead to, we've had these in the past, not this particular bead. It was a little bit of a different colorway. But this one, let me measure it for you. I just love this pressed Chet glass Ammonite. Let me re-zero it here. There we go. It's a little over 18 millimeters, and it's kind of thick. It's not super heavy though, but it's about 4 millimeters thick. And then I've used these really pretty little dangle drops from our buddy Becky Nunn. And what Becky also carries is she carries the chantons that go in these. So your kit also gets the little chantons, and you're going to have to glue them in. Now the glue, I'm going to use the GS Hypo. The glue doesn't come with the kit. Okay, so you can use yours on your own. I love these so much. I hope that, pardon me, I hope to maybe someday carry these, but carrying these, pardon me, plus the chantons and everything might be kind of crazy. I don't know. But you're getting them here in this earring kit. So let me show you what you get, how to put them together, and how to do that gluing. Super easy. So the measurements on all of this, let me show you this dangle. Let me open this one up here. I don't know which one I love best. I love this copper. And I love this antique gold. Lynn, good to know that you'd love to buy some more of these. You know, you could fill this little reservoir. It doesn't have to be a point back, though it is perfect with a point back. You could also fill this with some enamel paint, some polymer clay. There's a lot of things. You could even put like a little bead. I don't know. I've got an 8 millimeter bead sitting here. Right? We could glue an 8 millimeter bead in there. That doesn't look too bad, right? They're kind of cool. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Resin, 100%. You could throw a little drop of resin in there. Super simple. When I was in France with Jen Cushman, my buddy Jen Cushman, and we did the retreat, as you know, she was so kind to do a little resin tutorial for all of us. I'll show you the piece that I made. It'll just be a taunt because we can't get those pieces any longer, but I'd love to have Jen come on someday and we can just do some resin for fun. But I was really happy with the piece that I made. I'll dig it out once I start to unpack so you can see it. These are almost 30 millimeters in length, and then the thickness, they're skinny little dudes. They're about 4 millimeter here. And then you can see the bezel cup or rim right there, how it sits. So you're going to get those. You get a pair of those. You get a pair of these ear wire blanks, which I love, love, love. And we're going to put 4 millimeter fire polish on those. Okay. So you're going to put 4 millimeter fire polish on those. You're going to use these Ammonite pieces here that go on these head pins. And then I put the extra little 4 millimeter. We've got 2 more. I put them on the bottom here. Okay. Then you're going to attach all of this with this nice little jump ring, that little rope jump ring. I'm going to open mine up here. Yours may be connected, so just disconnect them. Those go here. And then I've given you 4 of the Chatons because if you drop them, you know, you're SOL, right? So I've given you 4. You're only going to use 2. Hang on to them. Maybe you have a piece of rhinestone jewelry or something that might need a little rhinestone in it. But let me show you. So first what we're going to do is we're going to glue these Chatons. These have the topaz. These here have the amethyst right here. Okay, so let's just glue this in. It's pretty easy. I'm going to use the GS Hypo. I haven't used my GS Hypo in a few weeks, so the lid is kind of on here. Let me see if I can get it off with a pair of pliers. Sorry, let me do that off camera so I'm not struggling on camera. I guess I should have tried to take this off before I started the broadcast, but why would I change my thoughts now, right? Come on now. There we go. Okay. So as you know, here's that little tip. I'm just going to come in and I'm going to add a drop. This comes out quick. And let me put this lid back on. I'm sorry, I need to get it in my field of focal vision because I can't see a thing to get this little thing back in here. So there we go. Once the little tip is back in there like that, go ahead and wipe around it so that you don't glue this on, right? There we go. Now, you can see here, it's a little hard to see, but can you see how those reservoirs for those bezels are kind of full, even with one drop? So I'm going to take a little bit of that cement out. See, it's there. It's hard to see, but it's on the tip of my, there we go. It's on the tip of my little piece of paper toweling there. Okay. So that when I go ahead and I put the chaton in, the rhinestone in, that glue isn't going to come out. So we want enough glue, but not so much that it's going to run all the way over. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my little tweezers here. Sometimes it's easier to pick it up, flip it over, and drop it in like that. And just kind of push it in. You can use your tweezers or you could use a like a toothpick as well. So see that in there? And I was kind of having trouble seeing it. I want to make sure that there's enough glue. Yeah, that's in there. Okay, good. Let me do this second one. Flip it over, toss it in, and center it down. Okay, just like that. All right, so let's look at the side view just to make sure. See how you can see that it's not sitting wonky at an angle. So I'm just going to press it in a little bit more with my finger. Just make sure it's in there. Great. Now we're just going to let that sit. Okay, that's how easy it is. Look at how cool these look. I don't know. This might be one more thing to add, but I just love the kind of rough metal around this really pretty, it's a Swarovski crystal chaton that's there, right? So pretty. Yeah, I love them too, Lynn, for sure. So let's put those aside. Now I've got 2 of these little extras. Whoops, let me focus here. Focus, Richburg. There we are. Let me put these back in their little baggie, just in case I might need these sometime. You also have an extra eye pin in there as well, in case you need it. Let's go to forming these ear wires. Okay, so I'm going to come in and slide this 4mm on, and right away, just to lock it in, I'm going to bend the wire at a right angle. Okay, I'll do that same one here. Now you can add some other stuff. This is about a 21 gauge wire, honestly. I'm going to call it a 20, but I think it's just slightly smaller but they're nice and sturdy, right? I'm going to come in, and you need to be careful because I've only given you a pair of these, so you don't have a spare. So you want to make sure that when you cut, I'm going to cut this away, and I'm going to measure this for you, okay? I'm going to use my wire cutter, cut that away. Let me measure what I cut, and then, what's left, and then what I cut away. So you're going to leave, that's about 7.5 millimeters, or about 0.29 inches, which if I get a ruler, it's kind of hard to read inches and decimals. This is, let me go here, just about 1/4 of an inch. Can you see that? It's about 1/4. Okay. Because I don't want this loop to be too giant. So let me get my round nose and let's make that loop. Okay. I'm going to use kind of the small part of my round nose plier down here. Sorry. There we go. And I'm going to loop this over. So I've got a nice, not too giant loop below. Okay. Now I'm going to use this piece of wire just as my guide to cut this other one. What I would do is I would, about 1/4 of an inch. You can go even just a little larger if you want your loop to be a little bit bigger, but I think this loop is okay. I don't want to see like all loop. You know what I mean? So I'm going to come here. I'm going to kind of lay this down if I can. So see, kind of even them up. See that there? Now I'm going to come in with my wire cutter. That looks about the right place. Try not to cut myself. There we go. That looks about right there. And give it a clip. All right. And let's hold these two next to each other. Yes, I was right. I was right on. Look at that. Hurrah. It's like I've done this before. Now I'll come in up and over the top with my round nose pliers. And the loop, see how I'm right here at the end of these pliers. The loop is fairly small, right? Large enough to hold a loop, but not so giant that all you're going to see is loop. And you want to make sure that those loops are completely closed so they are just a nice closed loop ready to go. Okay. Yeah, you could put a tiny felted bead on there, Mary Ellen, you queen of the felting. It would look so nice. So now let's go ahead and let's add our ammonites. You can add them, the whole runs from the top to the bottom here. So you can make the swirl go up or down. Doesn't really matter. They don't really even have to match. Maybe I'll make these go up this time, right? And what you want to make sure of, see how the end of this eye pin is it's a little bent and stuff. I'm going to come in, I'm just going to clip this so it's a nice straight across. What I've done is I put the 4 millimeter on first, then I go through this bead, right, like that. I'm going to do the same thing. This tip looks okay. But if they're crooked, I didn't straighten these for you, to be honest. I couldn't straighten every single one, but just straighten it out with your fingers when you get it. Slide this ammonite on. And see if you're encountering any trouble. See how this, I kind of have to shove this through like this. That's because this hasn't been completely, what do I want to say, completely straightened. And let me show you something that happened to me. I was fine getting all of these other wires through. And then I was making another pair of the earrings, and I wasn't paying attention, and I didn't straighten out the wire. And can you see what happened here? See how that bead broke? It done broke. So don't make this mistake that I did in my haste. Make sure that this wire is nice and straight. And if you encounter any issue, go ahead and just clip off the top, right? So that the wire is nice straight across, nice and straight, and then it won't all end in tears like this for you, okay? So, I mean, I could find the pieces. I do have them. I could glue them back on, and I could make sure that that's the back of the earring, right? We could salvage this, but you don't want to have to do that, okay? So I wanted to show you that in full disclosure. So, pardon me, sorry about that. I'm going to slide that on. And you can also feel sometimes when they manufacture eye pins and head pins, if I'm running my finger down here, I can feel a little nub right here at the end. So coming in with your flush cutter, cutting that down, and maybe not all of them have it, but now that I've cut it, there's no little nub there at all. So just check it, right? So what we want to do, this earring definitely has like a front and a back. So see how when I hold this like this, these two loops I want to be facing the same way on the bead. The jump ring is facing one way here, and the loop on top of this charm is facing one way. And then, of course, the loop on the ear wire is facing that way. So this center bead, we want to make sure that when we're making our loops, that the loops on this bead are facing front. Okay, so that means I come in with this bead facing this way, and I bend this wire down at a right angle there. And I'm here, and I bend this wire at a right angle here. I'm going to cut again, just maybe err on the generous 1/4 inch, not a scant 1/4 inch. I'll do that same thing here at a generous 1/4. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to make these loops up and over the top here. We've got some really great skill builders on how to make what we call just rosary loops. You do have an extra eye pin in here, just in case. This one was a little small, but it'll be okay. Let's see, they're almost the same size. I'm not always perfect with my loops, for sure, but there's that. Okay, so now let's go ahead. You can decide which loop you want to open. I'm going to use my bent chain nose. I'm just going to go ahead and open the loop up here on the top. I'm going to open that up, slide this ear wire on, grab it with my bent chain, and close it up. Make sure that both of these loops are closed. If they're not closed, they're open, and your earring will fall apart. And see how the loops on the bead are facing front, and the loop on the ear wire is perpendicular to that. Okay, so let's do the same thing here. And I prefer to open up the loop on the bead because I think the wires on these eye pins are a little softer, a little bit easier to manipulate than the ones on the ear wire. Okay, so there's that. There and there. Okay, so now let's get these jump rings and let's put these on. If this were real jewelry making time and not my demo time, I would let these sit at least for the afternoon so everything is nice and sealed up, nice and set in there. But since this is showtime, we're going to put them on. I'm going to take both of these rings. You could use one chain and one bent, whatever you want to do. Open it up. Put that tag on there. And you want to make sure that you don't put this tag on backwards, right? So I hold the earring in my hand so that the ear wire is going to the back. And then I put this on so the bezel is facing towards the front. Okay, you can always reverse it. I think I put at least one of them on backwards the first time I did this. So see how that lays there? So that's ready to go. Let me do this other one. It's open. Hold this here. You can slide this on this way so I know that that's going towards the back. And so I know that this, whoops. Well, let me put it on here. That seems to be working better. I was giving myself a pep talk to make it go all okay, and it all fell out of my fingers. All right, here we go. So that's in the correct position. This comes on. That's in the correct position. And now let's close it up. There we are. Done. So let's check it. Let's lay it out to make sure that it's sitting right. So that looks good. Let me just focus this real quick for you. There we go. Pardon me. Let me get another drink of water. I guess Janice and I were talking too long today. There we are. And the whole earring, it's not super long. It is, I don't know, from where it hangs in your ear. It's about 3 inches. So it's not a short earring, but it's certainly not a shoulder duster. Okay? So let me get this one here. So you can see this. Let me get this wire out of the way. And then it'll be screenshot time. Okay. There we go. They look pretty nice, if I do say so myself, right? Really perfect for, there's a kind of a lighter one, a darker one. They're great. They come in, the kit, of course, as always, comes in an organza bag. So these are all ready to gift. If you've made this pair, you want to gift it, put it back in the organza bag, wrap a little bit of tissue around or whatever, put it back in the organza bag. It's ready to go. The gift is ready. And I think they're so interesting, right? They're really kind of, I like the shape. I like all of that a lot. So let's see how they look on, shall we? The camera is showing these a little bluer. They're a little more green or Celadon. But let me put myself up here. I totally am a little discombobulated today, but I walked really early this morning and then I hit starting to work and I realized, oh, it's time for my broadcast. I better pull myself together. So see, look at how cool those look. I just love this big bead at the top with this long dangle. So they're on there. They are ready. Let me make sure that we still have some in stock. Hang on. I made a bunch and I checked a little bit earlier today. So I think we're still good. They're nice and light, not super heavy. Oh, and you folks we only have about 20 of each of the kits left in stock. So thank you for grabbing them. If you want them, jump on over to the website and grab one or the other. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with them. So that's that. Sorry. I guess I need to keep hydrating, so I will. tomorrow, my friends, I will be back with you with Emily. Hopefully my voice will be cooperating. But I'll be back with Emily. She's going to talk about her bead mixing. It's going to be really fun. Emily, as you know, has such a really interesting, great eye for color. And she's going to talk about how she mixes her seed beads and stuff. I am still stringing from yesterday. I was stringing during the broadcast for my bead crochet piece. We'll see. I'm still looking for my crochet hooks, so we'll see when those show up. That's one in there. That one's in there. But I'm really looking forward to hanging out with you folks and Emily tomorrow, regular time. So that's the third Thursday earring kit, my friends. It is done and dusted. You'll start to see shipping notifications on your Bead Shop Studio things really soon. I'm sorry that there's something here on the camera. I'm sorry that things aren't going out quite as quickly as I want them to be, but I promise you, I'm on it. It's been busy around here for sure. As always, we really appreciate, as always, your wonderful support of our small business. As you know, without you folks out there, we here at Bead Shop wouldn't be able to do what we do. So find us on our socials, Facebook, Pinterest, Insta. Hit that like and subscribe button over on our YouTube channel. And if you make anything with any of our stuff, post anywhere, make sure you either at us at Bead Shop or give us that beadshop.com hashtag. And any questions, you know, Drea is just on the other side of that keyboard at info@beadshop.com. All right, that's it for me. I'm out. I'll see you tomorrow with Emily. Thanks so much, folks, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.